Today we're going to discuss msconfig. msconfig is the system configuration interface which controls what items load and run in the background when a computer is turned on. msconfig is one of the easiest ways to speed up a slow computer. Removing programs that do not need to run in the background frees up your computer's memory and processor, resulting in a faster machine. To get to msconfig, go to the Start button in the bottom left hand corner of the screen and type in msconfig. When it appears on the search bar, you can click it with your mouse or you can press enter on your keyboard. In Windows 8.1, there are two ways to get to msconfig depending on whether or not you're on the desktop or the Metro screen. From the desktop, you can right-click the Start button, click Run, and type in msconfig, and then click OK. From the Metro screen, you can either click the search button or just start typing in msconfig, and when it appears, you can click on it and it will appear again. The system configuration window will appear with 5 tabs: General, Boot, Services, Startup, and Tools. The two you want to focus on mainly are the Startup tab and the Services tab. Let's begin with the Startup tab. There are startup items, the manufacturer of each of these items, where they're located on your computer, and the location in the registry. If you ever can't tell what a program is because it cuts off the name, you can hover over it and it will give you the entire name. If we go up and down the list, you can see there's a bunch of items that have been unchecked and there's a bunch of items that are checked. The ones that are checked are what will start up with your computer, and some of these may not need to be checked when you start up your computer, because the more of these that are checked, the more it slows down your computer. So as we take a look down the list, the ones that I have checked I want to leave checked, but let's just find some that maybe were checked at one time that were unchecked because they're unnecessary. So look at this BD region startup item. We can see the manufacturer says unknown. That doesn't really tell us what it is. If we look under the command line, we can see where it's located, and you see that it's a CyberLink program. At this point, if you're confident that you can uncheck it, go ahead. If you're not sure, the best thing to do is to go out to the internet and just do a simple search. So for example, what is BD region? Okay. There are several good sites you can look up, including Bleeping Computer, which this happens to be the first search result, Process Library, File.net, and Process Checker. And these sites are all listed in the show notes for this video. So let's take a look at the first one, BD region. If we look here, it says this is a valid program, but it is up to you whether or not you want it to run on startup. Okay, again, here's where it says it's a CyberLink program, and the program is actually Power DVD. So this comes installed on some computers when you first buy it. It's not really something that needs to start up when the computer starts up. If you start up the Power DVD program, it might start up a split second slower if you don't have this starting up with your computer. But overall, this is a good example of one of the items that just puts a drag on your computer and you can safely uncheck it from the list. In Windows 8.1, the Startup tab works a little differently. When you click Startup, you'll get this message that says to manage startup items, use the Startup section of Task Manager. So just click Open Task Manager and you'll see the startup programs here on this list. And then from here, you can see what's enabled and its startup impact, which can be low, medium, or high, or in this case, these haven't been measured yet. To disable a program in Windows 8.1, right-click where it says Enabled, or anywhere on this line, and you can then disable it from here. Notice there's also options to go to the file location or to see properties. In addition, when you highlight one of these items, you can click Disable in the bottom right corner. It's worth noting that a piece of malware or virus could install a program listed here in the startup items. If you're concerned about that, rather than unchecking it, you could just run your antivirus software and see if that takes care of it. It's important to point out that unless you're absolutely sure that something is okay to uncheck, don't uncheck it. So for example, Microsoft Security Client. This is actually the Microsoft Security Essentials program. You can see the icon here in the notification area. This is something you want to leave checked. This is the anti-malware program that runs in the background to protect your computer. If you uncheck it, it won't start up with your computer and it won't be running to protect your computer. Next, let's take a look at the Services tab. There are quite a few services that start up when your computer loads. Many of them are Microsoft services that we don't need to look at, so we can click this button that says Hide All Microsoft Services. Now, the items on the Startup tab are little programs that run, but what are these services? One of the ways you could describe it, a service is a program that runs in the background that makes another program run more efficiently. So for example, you see Google Update Service checkmarked. That's because that helps Google and its programs stay updated without any intervention on your part. It'll do it in the background. Mozilla Maintenance Service is the same thing for the Firefox browser. iPod Service. All this stuff helps things run a little bit more efficiently on your computer. However, even among these, there are some things that you don't need. This Capture Device Service, found I didn't need that. Nero programs, these are to burn CD and DVD images. Those services don't need to run when you start up the Nero program. These services, if necessary, will start up as well. Let's take a look at rezip on the internet. So if we go here and say, what is rezip? We look at the file.net site. It says rezip.exe is not essential for Windows and will often cause problems. Okay. Continuing on, it says, therefore the technical security rating is 79% dangerous. Okay, now, that's only one opinion. What if we want to look and see what other people have to say? Let's look at the 7 forums. Okay, and we start seeing, okay, this might be a Samsung product. Other people say that there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. And finally, Process Checker, if you click here, it doesn't give any information at all. It just says it doesn't have a product name yet and is developed by unknown, but it doesn't really give you any information as to what it could be. Okay, so this is one where you're kind of on the bubble, but again, as I looked more into this, I realized it was for Samsung, so it's probably reputable. However, this was something that didn't seem to be needed on the computer. When you're done making changes to the system configuration menu, click OK. Now just for fun, I'm going to make a change so you can see. If you click OK, you're going to get this little system configuration pop-up that says you may need to restart your computer to apply these changes. You can either restart now or you can exit without restart, and then the next time you restart your computer, these changes will take effect. Another way to get to the system configuration menu, or msconfig, is to click on the Start button, go to Control Panel, click Administrative Tools, and then you'll see an option for System Configuration. Double click that and the System Configuration menu is there. The show notes for this video are available by clicking the link below the video. Please help to support helpfulvideotips.com by subscribing to this YouTube channel and visiting helpfulvideotips.com to follow along on social media. I'm Tom Sutton. Thank you for watching.